Good morning, friends. So today what I'm going to do is kind of show what a average day is for me living in the truck. Right now it's the very middle of summer, and I just kind of want to give some of the things I've learned during the last 2 months living in the truck full time. So join along, and I'm going to show you my morning routine first. So this is going to be an example of what I do on a work day. I work a part-time job, and you may have noticed I didn't upload a video last week Friday. And that was because last week I actually had to fill in for my boss, so I worked a full 40-hour day, and I just couldn't find time to make a second video. So sorry about that. So it is 7:30 right now, and again, because of this, my days when I'm working and not working are not all that different. 7:30 right now, it's probably about 80 degrees back here. The lowest it gets is probably around 70. At this time of the year, I need to be out of the truck by about 8:30 before it becomes intolerable to be back here. It's too hot. I am making a swamp cooler, and the parts are going to be in. The rest of the parts are going to be in on Monday. So I don't think I'm very good at making how to make things videos, but might try it out. But in the least, I'm going to show it in its finished form. It's been hitting between 100 and 105 most days recently. Right now it is July 23rd. And in the area that I'm in, the temperature record is 107 degrees. And we did hit 107 degrees last week. So temperature is a big issue. So first thing I do in the morning is, like when you live in a house or an apartment, is to take the morning whiz. And not gonna be dishonest, this part's kind of gross. So this was a big upgrade. When I first started living in the truck, I was using kind of a little water bottle. And sometimes you pee more than you are expecting you're going to, and had a little bit of a disaster one time with that. So immediately I went and got this Gatorade bottle, which is a big upgrade. So give me a moment. I'm now in possession of a Gatorade bottle full of urine. I use a Jackery 2000 watt-hour battery backup as my electricity source. And then I use Renogy flexible solar panels on the top of the camper shell as my electrical generators. And there's a fun little error that happens a lot with Jackeries. It's the F7 error. And I'm gonna pop the bed open, and I'm gonna show you that error and how to correct it. And while it's a very easy correction, it does not self-correct. So what ends up happening is that you lose a portion of the day of light, which when you're on such a tight electrical budget is kind of a disaster. But I'll stop talking. I'm gonna pop the bed open, and I'm gonna show you how to correct the problem. Alright, so we're now inside of my bed. So I'm going to hit this display button. And look at that. Error F7. This happens literally every morning when the sun starts coming up. And it is the error for a unexpected voltage from the solar panels. Thankfully, it's easy to correct. All I need to do is get behind the Jackery, unplug, and replug in the solar panels. Bada bing, bada boom, we're making a whole 26 watts right now. So you may be wondering why I'm on a tight electrical budget when I'm starting my day with 85% battery, and I will get into that. I had to do an emergency modification. So this used to be wood right there. Used to go all the way across there. And longtime viewers of the channel will know that my fridge used to be in the cabin of my truck, in the back seat. So when it started hitting in the hundreds of degrees every day over and over again, the cabin of my truck is unventilated. The area that I'm in has a relatively high crime rate. So I would not leave my windows cracked. And it was probably hitting like 120 degrees in the cabin of the truck. And my fridge was running constantly, which is bad news for my battery backup. So I did an emergency modification, and I got my fridge in my bedstand. And bummer of all bummers, turns out my fridge is taller than my stand. So from that point on, I have been... Let's see if we can do this one-handed. My legs are no longer level when I'm sleeping. They are laying on my bed, which is laying on the fridge. Not a big deal. And it will be handy to have my fridge in the living space for when I'm cooking. So, ups and downs. This one was mostly a down because another problem popped up. When it hits to be so hot, my Jackery overheats and will no longer accept the charge. So, it's kind of a perfect storm of issues where I'm gonna do a jump cut and I'm gonna get my bed back open. So it's a perfect storm. It's while the cabin of my truck probably hits 120 degrees at this point of the year, even back here in the living space probably gets like 110, 115. The savior of the back of here is that my camper shell does have slide outs. So back here actually gets ventilation. So it doesn't get so screamingly hot back here. It gets too hot to be in here, but it's not so bad. So when it gets really hot, the fridge runs constantly, which puts heat into the battery backup. The backup here is already hot. So what happens is that the Jackery will overheat. It will keep powering things, even when it's overheated. I'm sure at some point it would stop doing that, but I've never seen that happen yet. It'll still charge things. But it will stop accepting a charge from the solar panels. So, fridge is running constantly, Jackery has turned itself off, and you lose a good third of your day to overheating. So you lose 1/3 of your potential charge, of which you need the most of as possible during the summer months to keep the fridge running. And what that means is that I don't get to use my fridge. That's a major bummer, because it basically means I have to put together a fridgeless diet, which I don't really have to. I have a job, so I can just go. I get stuff from restaurants and stuff, or fast food, whatever. But it's a major bummer. That was an issue I wasn't expecting. That one popped up. So that's something to think about if you're wanting to live in a truck in a desert environment. Next, we're going to get into the spicy part of the episode, which is bathing. You get to smelling pretty bad pretty fast when you live like this. It's a major bummer. And there's no particularly good way of escaping it. I took an actual shower in a house, at my mom's house, yesterday. At around 2 o'clock in the afternoon or so. And I already smell bad. Because it's hot back here all the time. When I get back here in the evening, I usually get back to the truck around 10 o'clock or so every night. To start going down for the night. And it's still probably around 90 degrees back here when I'm back here getting ready for bed. So you're laying in bed at 90 degree heat. I kick my blanket off because no need for that. So bathing is kind of you can't get like an awesome bath back here, but you can I do basically like a cloth bath. Here's everything that I use for my cloth baths, sponge baths in the back of the truck. Got my water jug here. Got a bowl for water right there. Got my all-in-one engine degreaser, shampoo, and facial cleanser right here. Perfect. And then I got the cloth and mention right there. So what I do is open up the vent hole in the water. Good enough. So the basic procedure that I do is just not exactly rocket science. Wet the cloth. Put dial on it and scrub down whatever you want to scrub. And what I do is I wash everything with soap first, and then after I'm done, then I go back to the water, which does still have quite a bit of soap in it, so it's not like an awesome rinse. I have a theory where I think I got shampoo that rinsed down the side of my neck, and I did not get it off properly, and it gave me a nice little rash on my neck. So that was fun to deal with for a few days. I was going to try and film some of the spicy bathing scenes, but I do edit my videos in a public place, and in case my genitals end up in the video, I don't want to be having to censor that in public. So I'm going to get a bath done, and I'll see you when I'm fresh. This is a spicy episode. I am naked behind the camera. Subscribe to the OnlyFans to see the other view. So like I said before, today's a work day. So I keep my underwear and socks in this little ammo can. And then I keep my work clothes under my regular clothes. And also under my toiletries bag. So when I wash clothes, I go ahead and I just match pants and shirts together. So we're gonna grab this polo, grab these pants, and I am going to get dressed. All right, we are fresh, clean, and dressed. Looking pretty fly. So, now we're going to say hello to the world for the first time this morning. And I can turn my light off now. And I'm going to show you how I wash my hair in the morning. It's very complicated. So now my process for shampooing is I go ahead and reuse my rinse from my sponge bath. So wet my hair, wash, and then refill with my water, and then rinse, and then dry. Very complicated, I know. Living in a truck in the city isn't quite free. You do need to pay your rent every day. I'm going to repeat that 7 more times. Then I'm going to head to work. Alright, gotta go put my time in for the man. I'm gonna go look at a computer screen for 4 hours, and I'll catch up with you guys during lunch. Alright guys, you caught me. I wasn't being totally honest. Today's Sunday. I'm not working today. And my mom and I just went to Palisade and went to a winery and had a very nice lunch. And as you saw from the thermometer in the back of my truck, the back of my truck is 135 degrees. About 130 over an extended period of time will kill you. And I would love to keep the charade up and put my work clothes back on to act like this is a work day. But I don't feel like puking my guts out. So, sure, act's over. Today's Sunday. It's about lunchtime. I'm gonna walk around a little bit and just chit-chat. Is hoping that people aren't taking this as me poo-pooing the whole truck camping van life lifestyle. I knew there was going to be a lot of issues as I was seeing this figured out. I didn't think the heat issue would be as big of a deal. For one, I don't spend much time at home, so I didn't think that it was going to be that big of a deal because I wouldn't be in the truck very much. I usually only am at home pretty much just to sleep. I tend to not to hang out at my house all that much. The big surprises I had was the problems that I would have with my electrical system because of the heat. I really wasn't expecting that my Jackery to overheat like that. It's not shocking now knowing how hot it gets back there, but I always leave the slide outs open on my camper shell, and when I showed that temperature 135, it was 103 outside, and with that vent open, I really thought it was going to keep it closer to the outside temperature than that. So that was a big surprise. Honestly though, the only major modification I've had to do is put the fridge back in the living space. Which of course with the electrical issues is I'm still not able to really use it very much. But really, other than that, that's been the only major modification I've had to make. Frankly, I'm kind of surprised that my first iteration of the truck camping setup is working out so well. And I think that little swamp cooler I'm going to make is going to be a big improvement. The parts for that are going to be coming in. Again, the parts for that are going to be coming in tomorrow. So I'm hoping between Monday and Tuesday, I might be able to have that swamp cooler up and running. Overall, though, I'm just loving the truck camping lifestyle. never going to be as comfortable as home. And at least so far, it's never felt like home. That is kind of the part that's taking more of like a mental strain on me, is that nowhere feels like home. You don't have a home anymore, because you can never like totally relax in the truck camping setup. It's just not perfect. It's just not great for feeling homely. I'm hoping that getting it more comfortable inside will help, because so I wake up, I know that I need to be out of the truck in an hour. I wake up at 7 generally. So I know I need to be out of the truck in about an hour to an hour and a half. And then when you get in the truck at nighttime, it's still not quite comfortable inside. It's still pretty friggin' hot. I'll give you the actual temperature when I call it a night. But just the freedom is awesome. Like, like my previous videos, we went out to Cedar Edge and hung out, went over the Grand Mesa, did some hiking. And this week was kind of unusual because I had to work a full 40 hours this week. That's not going to be a very common thing. I'm hoping to be back to a 20-hour schedule in at most 2 weeks. Fingers crossed. But it's nice to get the 40 hours. It's nice. I'm hourly, so it's nice to double my weekly income. That was pretty nice. But hopefully within 2 weeks we'll be back to normal and be able to go on a adventure every week. My next adventure is going to be going to Ridgeway and Ouray. Sorry guys, this will be another OnlyFans only episode. I'm gonna be going to a nude hot springs in Ridgeway called Orvis, and I am super stoked for that. That's gonna be so nice to be up there in the mountains and just chilling out in the hot springs. I'm so looking forward to that. To conclude, truck camping lifestyle is going great overall. There's some negatives that I wasn't expecting, and frankly most of them I think I'm going to be able to work around. Also, with this more active lifestyle I'm having now, not being able to be at home very much anymore, I'm losing weight like freaking crazy. Not at like a unhealthy rate, I don't think. I don't own a scale, so I don't really know what the rate, but I'm feeling good. And I'm able to take an actual shower once a week at my mom's place. I could do it every day if she'd let me, but I don't feel like driving over there every day. So every Saturday I'm able to get an actual shower in. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, damn, nice. Love handles are going down. I can see my ribs for the first time in quite a while. Feels good, man. Okay, it is now 10 o'clock. I have not looked at the thermometer yet. I am going, from being back here, I'm guessing 90 degrees. Huh. Pretty close. Ouch. I'm gonna do my little nightly routine. Just show my little nightly routine that I do living in here, which is honestly pretty simple. Pretty much just water picking my teeth and brushing my teeth. Crap. I need to go and refill my water bottle. I'm not gonna show that, but yeah, whatever. I'll just fill it off of my my jug. Yeah, nightly routine is much more simple than the morning routine, and tends to be more, more chill. The morning routine, with the heat problems I've been having, have been very hectic because I wake up at 7 and need to be out of the truck by 8:30. The nightly one, it just gets cooler and cooler back here, so you're not really fighting the clock on anything. Okay, final steps for the night. I got my window closed, tailgates closed, and my high security system is this bungee strap right here. So while the shell cannot be locked from the inside, and frankly, I would rather it not be locked from the inside in case there's an emergency, what this bungee strap does for me, and my thoughts on this, is that while nothing is stopping someone from pulling this open, like you can just open that, it would mean that they couldn't, most likely, anything can happen, of course, it would be very hard for someone to crawl through, and would most likely wake me up. The noise from that would most likely wake me up. And my last little thing is my back window blocker. Again, very high tech. So right here, I've got Velcro squares and straps. This one got melted to the frame of my window, so that one's permanently stuck to the window, at least until I get a knife and peel it off. So these simply attach right there, and then on the strut and on the struts that go down right there and there. So now this is the fully sleeping mode setup of the truck. And then my version of a television is my phone leaned up against my hat. So I can just watch YouTube on that for I don't know, half an hour to an hour before going to bed. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little just an example for kind of an average working day for me. Even though today wasn't actually a working day, I really appreciate you guys playing along with me on that one. You know who you are. But I'll be making these occasionally, like when it gets to be winter time, I'll make another one then, because opposite end of the spectrum for Colorado is that it's not too weird for it to it'll get into the sub-zero temperatures here pretty regularly. Usually the highs in the winter, even the dead of winter, it'll get to about high 30s, low 40s in the winter time. It's really not that bad compared to a lot of Colorado. This Grand Junction has relatively minor winters. Really just the entire western slope has pretty mild winters. So when we get to the winter episodes, I'll be explaining and figuring out how to heat this thing. I believe they make burners, heaters, for the type of fuel that I use for cooking, the butane-propane mixture. The maker, Jetboil, of my cooking system does not make a heater, which is surprising because they kind of make everything for that thing. But I'm pretty sure that I've seen burners that use that type of fuel, so I can keep to just using one type of fuel. This is also my first time using a new camera tool, which is my light mod. Let me see if I can just get it off here. This guy. And really, I think it does a pretty good job of lighting things up. Has a little diffusion cover. And man, I think it does a pretty good job without making too bad of highlights. That diffusion cover works pretty well. At least I think so. Just from the viewfinder, it looks pretty good. We'll see how good it looks during editing. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night, guys. I hope you all enjoy this episode, and I will see you next time. See ya!